come over and cut your hair. She was like, I'll cut your hair, big boy. Rick's all like, yeah, I haven't been in contact with a woman. You could cut my hair. He doesn't trust anybody, but he trusts her to cut his hair, yeah. See, a lot of things don't change in the zombie apocalypse. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Everyday Geek. I'm your host, Dave. Here with special guest again, Steven.
Thank you very much.
Today we're going to be doing a little recap on Season 5 of The Walking Dead. We're both big fans of The Walking Dead. I love that show. It's one of my favorite on television. The Season 4 ended. They got to Terminus, and they were thrown into a train car or something. So Season 5 opens up. That was a sick episode. It starts off with, basically the Terminus people have Rick, Daryl, it was Glenn, right? Also those three, tied up, gagged, and over a what's that, like one of those
trough.
Cow trough with some other random people on the other side, who I think Rick noticed somebody in that. I think there's a link there. I don't really remember. There was a link because he looked over at one guy, and I remember reading on the internet too that there was a link between them two from an earlier season. I don't remember, but I mean that season started. I mean they were slicing throats, blood. And they were eating people. They were curing the meat.
Well, one of them had said either you're the butcher or you're the cattle.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
And that was their point, was be slaughtered or
I gotta slaughter. I think about that, like, in a zombie apocalypse, no matter how hungry you are, do you think you could ever eat another human being?
It would take a lot.
It all depends on how hungry you are.
I guess that's true. Like, I don't think I could kill somebody. Like, a zombie, I think I could kill, and I want to kill a zombie. I just want to bash it in his head. I just want to just see how that feels. But Rick does the little, he's trying to figure out a way out. He's starting to, like, get his hands free, and Carol comes to the rescue, and Carol's awesome.
Yeah,
like, she's a character that has turned to, like, I couldn't stand in the beginning of this, when the show started, but she was just whiny and annoying, who's turned out to be one of the best characters on the show. Like, I love her scenes.
She's done a complete 180, as we were sort of discussing before doing the show. She went from somebody who lost her child, was freaking out, crying. I mean, you sort of wanted to go in and just slap her yourself, to somebody who threatens, we'll talk about this later, but threatens other kids, and you're just sitting there going, wait a second, a couple seasons ago, you would have been opposed to this kind of person.
Yeah, no, it just shows you how like, she's had to become this person in this apocalypse to survive. She's great, but she saves them. So, they had the Terminus was the beginning of the season, that was a crazy episode. And then the season went on, the group is still going. They're trying to get down to Washington still, I think, at the time.
Washington, going north.
Yeah, with Eugene's advice of a cure or whatever, no one had to stop it. Then, Beth gets kidnapped. There's the whole Grady Memorial Hospital with the police and that whole thing going on there. So we'll talk about that real quick. What did you, when Beth got kidnapped, what did you think? Like, did you think there was going to be a whole other storyline with her, or
Well, I thought it was kind of odd. I just didn't see where it took place, like why it took place, why it fit into the storyline.
And what did you think with the Daryl connection? Did you think there was did you think his relationship with Beth was becoming attraction, like like that? I don't know, sexual attraction, or do you think it was more like Big Brother attraction?
I think it was more Big Brother.
But I think he has more of that with Carol. There's like a weird. They've always had a weird connection that they haven't really done anything with yet.
But I think we're going to see maybe in the coming seasons that they're going to have more of a love thing. I mean, maybe not a love romance thing, but with them I see more of an equal, maybe a brother-sister thing with, I guess more brother-sister thing. Where with Beth, it was more of like, you're my little sister. You're the one
it was like more. I felt like it was more of a protective, like because they were making it get a little weird. It was getting a little strange. Like you didn't know where they were going, but I think that was more of like a big brother thing. She got kidnapped. She gets brought to Grady Memorial Hospital, and that's where they introduce some new characters. They introduce Tyler James Williams. I kept calling him Everybody Hates Chris. He comes in as Noah, who at first I don't like new characters coming into my shows. I don't know about you. I kind of was like against it. I'm like, that's Everybody Hates Chris. Like that's what I kept thinking every time I saw the kid. But he was really good.
Yeah.
Noah turned out to be a really cool character, and then we'll talk about him a little bit later too, because he has a Walking Dead fate coming up in that season.
But I like how they brought him in, and at first you thought he was going to help out, and then he doesn't help them.
Yeah, and then
he comes back again. It's just sort of that back and forth of how at first you try and be that sole survivor, and then you realize you can't do it on your own.
No.
But then when you meet a group like Rick,
unless you're Morgan.
Yeah, unless you're Morgan, who just.
But we'll fast forward. We'll get to that soon too. So basically, they're building up that storyline. It was for the the mid-season finale, where the two groups come together. It's the Grady Memorial Hospital group and Rick's group, and there's supposed to be the trade-off.
Yep.
You know, they wanted, it was Noah, right?
Yeah, it was
they wanted Noah.
Yeah.
And they wanted, you know, Rick, and then wanted Beth, and it turns out, you know, in the end, Beth gets killed.
Spoiler.
Yeah, well, if you're watching this now and you haven't watched it, well, too bad. You're going to get spoiled. You know what? You shouldn't even say anything. You should just watch it and be like, what? It's saying everything. But, yeah, so Beth gets killed. That was pretty shocking. I was a little...
Shocking, but it was a little disappointing the way they did it. I thought they could have
thought
of something a little bit more interesting than...
Yeah, I felt bad. You know, I was like, oh, man, I was hoping they did more with her.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, I guess, you know, they had to get more characters in, so more come in. They got to ship some of them out of there, but... She went, you know, they had the whole Maggie scene. You know, Maggie was obviously distraught because now her whole family's gone. All she's got is Glenn. And if anybody reads the comics, spoiler again, that might not last either. What? Spoiler! But, you know, so we'll talk about that too as we get closer to the end of this season. We'll talk about that. But we come back, and now... You know, something we were talking a while about some of the stuff on the show. We didn't even talk about Tyrese. Tyrese got,
yes.
You know, they come back from the season, you know, the season comes back, and they go to Noah's, wants to go find his family and his location, whatever, and that's when you get introduced to the wolves a little bit more. You start seeing more of those W's all over the place, and, you know, beware the wolves and everything. And, you know, Tyrese got killed in that episode. Tyrese was a character I feel like they left a lot there. Like, they could have worked with him a lot more. They kind of never made him what he was in the comics. In the comics, he was a badass, like, you know, Rick's right hand. But I felt like, what did you think? Like, did you think there was more to the character? Did you think that it was kind of like, was it time for him to go, or?
I thought they could have built on him a little bit more. But I sort of like the give and take, back and forth. Like you said, you know, characters come in, but then they leave. It's not like back in the day where you'd had the same group of characters for all the episodes. No, hey, look, it's an apocalypse. Everybody dies at some point in time. It's just a matter of how far did you make it. Sort of like a video game.
And I liked about his too, the way they had him, like the flash. You know, he started seeing all the people that died already. You know, he was kind of like coming to grips with, I'm about to die. Like, I'm, you know, going to the light. You know, kind of the Tyrese thing. But yeah, it was good. He was great. I like I said, I think there was a lot left open, and I think they could have done more with Tyrese. But you know, it is what it is. They have to move on. Get, like we said, other characters coming in. So we did, you know, they did that. They kill off Tyrese. They still building the trek down to Washington. At this point, Eugene tells them that it's BS. Abraham goes ape shit and, you know, punches him in the face and wants to kill him, but they stop him. And that leads up to, you know, ending up getting followed by Aaron, who gets introduced finally to the group. And they give him a hard time.
Beat him up.
Yeah, I mean, it's legit. I mean, all the stuff they've been through. You know, you just pop in like, hey, I've been watching you. Come to my place now. No, Rick's not falling for that anymore.
He didn't look like he could be a bad guy. Like he was somebody like, say, the governor from the past seasons that was, you know, really going to take you out. But as the season unfolded, more episodes took place. I was kind of shocked at how much of a beating he took by Rick and the others.
And was just like, that's okay.
Yeah, like, you'll find out when you get to my place that we're all okay.
But, you know, it makes you wonder. He probably had to deal with that a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, they alluded to that they had already spoke to a couple other groups. Some they rejected, some, you know, they tried.
I wonder how those rejections went, don't you?
Yeah,
like, I'm sorry, you can't, like, what'd they do?
We're going to send you back.
Yeah, because, like, when you meet the Alexandria crew, like we were saying earlier when we were talking, if they didn't like a group, how did they, like, if they didn't like Rick's group, honestly, how would they get them out right now? Because Rick, Daryl, and Michonne and Carol, the four of them could take out Alexandria, I think.
Take over the whole place.
They can.
And they've already mentioned it in the show.
Like Rick said, like, if they don't listen, we'll make them listen. This is our place, you know, like. And I agree. Like, if they're going to be stupid, which, you know, we've learned that they don't really know what's going on. But I wonder how they get rid of a group if they wanted to. It makes you want, like, did they ever really get rid of a group?
Ask nicely.
Please leave. Oh, yeah, sure. I'll leave this wonderful gated community with food and showers. No problem. I'd be like,
food, showers,
what? Come again?
Yeah.
wait, what'd you say?
Excuse me?
So when they get to Alexandria, what were your thoughts? Like, what were you thinking? Like, what do you think of this
first
place?
you wonder, you see all these walls, and it is more sturdier than pretty much any place they've been, other than the prison. The prison had the double gate system,
Prison
that
was
kind
great.
of thing.
That was such a great setup.
But I was starting to wonder where they were going to go when the lady that was running it, when she had people sit on a couch and videotape them asking questions similar to this.
This is my processing. I'm processing
wondering.
to see if you will survive my zombie apocalypse.
I think AJ's the leader.
The man behind the camera.
Yeah, the man behind the camera.
I'm just the puppet.
But no, it just seemed really interesting. But as like Dave said, as time went on, episodes went on, you realize like, wow, they're really naive. They don't understand what's really going on and how good they have it. Like anybody, a baby with a knife could take over this place.
Well, that's the thing, I mean, they didn't even tell these guys what really is going on out there. So we lead into, they make the run. There's that run that Glenn goes on with Noah, with a couple of the other guys. And Glenn knows early on that they don't know how to do a run. They're just a bunch of cowards. And you learn that as Alexandria goes on with the whole Abraham scene, when they're at the top, trying to build more space and everything. Alexandria's a bunch of cowards, and they will leave you dead just to save themselves. And that's not the group. They protect everybody, and they will save who they can. And, they had that scene with the door.
Yeah, the circular door.
Revolving
door.
Glenn said, trust me. And, we know as fans, like, they know what they're doing. Trust them. And it leads to one of the most gruesome scenes in The Walking Dead. Noah, again, another spoiler alert, they pull him through the door because the guy runs out and Glenn can't hold it. The zombies just right in front of Glenn.
Yeah.
I mean, tear him a new one.
Kill with a fish hook.
And I literally mean a new one. Yeah, they tear apart his, and that was an intense scene.
And it was all glass doors, so it wasn't even like something you could hide behind. I mean, it was in front of you,
like
live.
Glenn just watched it, and his acting wise, his reaction was great. It was a great scene.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. I couldn't believe that was gruesome. That was pretty intense.
Yeah, that was.
But that was cool how like they just showed like the pure like what these zombies will do to you. Yeah. That was pretty good. Glenn's already at his breaking point. He has his problems with the guys, and they get back to Alexandria. Rick goes head to head with Jesse's husband, who's abusive to the kids and her and everything. That was a great episode too.
Yeah. Right
before the season finale, where they fight out, they bust through the glass, and I mean in the middle of the whole area, he's covered in blood and waving the gun around. And he's basically saying we're all thinking like you guys are dumb. You don't know what's going on. That isn't real life. And then Michonne comes, and then I remember you were like, you didn't really...
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that she really knocked him out.
Yeah. I think it had to be her. I mean, you think about the people in the show. I mean, Daryl wasn't there, so it had to be, Michonne that stopped him.
Yeah, but she really knocked him out.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, she ran
and he was going crazy. It was awesome, though.
He was, but it was a shocker. You didn't see it coming. I kind of figured that something else was going to go on with Rick and the crowd, and, he'd talk his way out of it and prove to them, like, this is the right thing to do and the right way to do it. And next thing you know, he's out.
That man, he's full of poison. He needs to get it out. He needs to get that poison out. But, so let me get to the season finale. I thought it was a great finale. They kind of had like 3 different storylines going on. They had Sasha with Gabriel, who, what a piece of crap he is. Yeah. Who's the biggest coward than that guy?
Yeah, no, exactly.
God, I hated that episode when he was telling her, they're gotta get rid of them. They'll bring this place down. But they had the Sasha Gabriel storyline. They had the Glenn with that other guy in the woods, and that.
The Noah thing.
I guess that's showing you how some people like Glenn and Maggie still have compassion and stuff, because I would have killed that guy in the woods. Yay or nay that you would kill? Would you have killed him? Yay. That's 3.
Yeah.
So that had that storyline. Then the other storyline was the whole town meeting with Rick, and it leads up to the gate got left open by Gabriel, and Walker got in, and Rick does what Rick does. And that was the best scene. Like, they're having their little meeting about what they should do with Rick, Like, no, you need Rick. And Rick just comes in, dumps that body, explains, like, this is what can go on here, and he's going to lay the law. You finally got to see some of the wolves, and that was cool seeing Morgan back.
I like how they sat down with him. The guy was really cool and like, oh, okay, you're going to give us that, and you're going to give us that. Why? Because I asked for it.
Yeah, he's just like, no. Yeah. He beats the crap out of him with like a stick.
Yeah, it's a broomstick.
Awesome. Yeah, it was a broomstick. Yeah,
you see the threads from on screen.
I mean, that was great. But then you had the storyline with Aaron and Daryl gets stuck in the car and everything. That was pretty cool. And Morgan saves them, shows them the map.
The disco lights.
Yeah. That was that. The walk. I'm really curious to see what's going on with the wolves. Like I'm really, because like I said, I don't. That's not in the comics. I don't remember that in the comics. So I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna go there. I have a feeling. I know it's gonna go there. Negan. But that's all I'm gonna say. The final scene is the abusive dude runs in with Michonne's sword. A scuffle happens, slices the throat of I forgot her name, the main chick of Alexandria, the main girl. I forgot her name, but slits the husband's throat, like just splits it right open, blood everywhere. Tackle him down, and I love that scene though, like where Rick is trying to explain to them what's going on, and how she just turns to Rick and goes, "Do it." Like she knows, like Rick this is Rick's place now, but that no hesitation on Rick, just be like, pops that guy right in the face, and what a great scene that right as that's happening. You have Aaron, Daryl, and Morgan there. And Morgan just, about 10 minutes earlier said about how every life is precious.
Yeah.
And then just that scene of, like, he looks up, and they're looking at each other, and, like, Rick's just looking like, holy crap. Morgan. And Morgan's just like, Rick, like, what happened to you? Like, what are you doing? So I'm kind of curious to see where that goes. That they both have that different view of life now.
Right.
Rick's like, I will kill you to survive. And Morgan's like, yeah, you threatened me, but I'll beat you up and then just throw you in a car and give you heads up to get out. Like, I'll honk the horn, so, like, because, I mean, those were the two guys later on this show that killed the other guy with the red poncho.
I figured that he honked the horn to get the zombies to come to
That's
the
what
car.
I thought, but then, that's what I thought, but then those were the same two guys that had the guy with the red poncho.
Okay.
So, I don't exactly know what he was doing, if he did that just to wake them up or something,
Okay.
because he knocked them out or whatever, but that red poncho scene was sick, too. Like, how they just hit the button and they all, like lemmings, just went right back into the, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And how are we going to set this up? We don't have enough time.
Yeah. That was pretty good. That was good. But overall, I thought it was a great season. The season finale was fantastic. It's just such a good show.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best. I mean, the first season was phenomenal just because of its so different in the way they brought it in. But this season definitely had some good spoilers and some good...
That's my walk. That's my walker. It sucks the life out of you. Oh, that's my other one. There's 3 walkers in here. They suck the life out of me. Yeah, so that was the season. I thought it was a really good season. I'm curious to see what they do season 6. Like you two, I want to get like your opinion since you guys haven't read. What do you think is going to happen moving forward in Alexandria, the storylines and everything?
Well, I think, like you said, Rick's going to become a really powerful position in the Alexandria, and basically, I mean, he's going to be that sheriff. He's going to be that go-to guy, that decision thing. It'd be interesting to see if he actually becomes the person that takes over the whole thing, and the other girl sort of steps down, or she still tries to get some control. And if they realize, like, hey, you've got it so good, yet you know nothing about what's beyond these walls.
Yeah. What do you think about the wolves? What is your idea of what are you thinking with these wolves? Like, what do you... Because that's coming into play. Like, they've been building
we keep seeing the W's, whether it's on the foreheads, it's on the trees.
Mm-hmm.
It seems really odd. I'm just waiting to see what they do. I don't know yet. I mean, you wonder, why would you write a W on somebody's forehead, whether you're alive or dead?
Yeah.
That seems really odd.
Yeah, it's like marking your territory.
Yeah, it's like cattle.
And why is it their territory?
Yeah.
All right, AJ, what are you thinking? What do you?
I'm thinking with Alexandria, I think Rick is going to start really training some of the people that are there. You know, I could see him like having them witnessing what zombies could really do and how they move and how to kill them. And
yeah, maybe teach them, be a little more combative, know how to shoot
like
and kill and all that.
Survival training.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, they need it.
For this world that they're in right now.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of that, and I definitely agree with you that he's going to take a much more powerful position in the community.
Has to teach them.
And as far as, the end of this season, I don't think there's going to be resistance against him and his group.
Yeah.
The community.
No, I agree with that. I think
resistance is over at this point.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about the wolves? What is your thought?
I could see the wolves as having like a much larger group of unstable people, not like the cannibals who are, even the cannibals could kind of play it cool to lure you in.
Yeah.
I feel like the wolves could be like a very...
Well, look how they handled Morgan. It was kind of like, hey, how are you? We're going to take your stuff. Like, they were blatant, like, we're going to take your stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we're going to kill you.
Yes.
And he was like, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So, okay, now I want, real quick, what are your opinions on two things? One, what do you think is going to happen with the Morgan Rick What do you think's gonna happen with those two now? Coming
not
back
sure.
together, but now being two different characters.
I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like, I was really shocked that Morgan came back. I'm curious to see where they go with it because I just completely forgot about him.
Yeah. All right. And AJ, what do you think?
Well,
Morgan.
I think because they introduced Morgan with this competition with the Wolves in
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of the last episode, I think in the next season, I think they're going to have him die.
Okay.
And I think it might be as a part of this whole Wolves thing that's happening.
Okay.
Because I see how they're trying to change the dynamics of the show from season to season.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to say that they're going to kill him off.
Okay.
You know, and it's probably going to be something really dramatic where him and Rick are going to be fighting whatever, maybe zombies and wolves or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think about a whole thing of him dying. I do think there's gonna be a lot of confrontation between him and Rick now, because they kind of role reversed earlier in the series. Morgan was kind of that unstable because he lost his wife, his son, and everything, and Rick was more of the calm, the lack and all that. Now they kind of flip flopped. So that was our Walking Dead recap for season 5. Real quick, I just wanted to talk to one. I wanted to mention another show that just wrapped, and I love it. Better Call Saul. If no one's watched it, it's the prequel for a Saul Goodman character from Breaking Bad. Great show, great acting. First season just wrapped. Very good. They even linked a lot of stuff to the Saul Goodman character in Breaking Bad in the prequel, which was really cool. So that was a great show. I just want to say check it out if you haven't. And another show returning actually this weekend to HBO is another show I love, Game of Thrones. AJ is a fan of that too. Really looking forward to that. Every season's great. Last season was another great one. I'm all Team Tyrion, Team Stark. I want to see these guys go, but I've learned that I can't get vested in these characters because everybody I seem to like somehow is no longer in the Game of Thrones. You excited for it, AJ? I know you're ready.
So excited! This is my show.
Now, what do you think? I don't read the books on this. Do you read the books?
I haven't. No.
I haven't either, so I don't know any of that stuff. What are some of the people's storylines you can't wait for the new season?
At some point, there's just going to be this amazing convergence of dragons and walkers and the wildlings from the north, and everyone I feel is just going to converge at some point.
I'm so curious with these walkers already. Winter's been coming for a while. I mean, we live in the Northeast. It feels like winter's never leaving, let alone coming. But I'm curious about the walkers. I'm excited to see that. I love the storyline of the Mother of Dragons, Daenerys. I'm kind of curious to see with that, with the growth of the dragons, how she's kind of showed her losing a little bit of control of them. I mean, they're dragons. I mean, what do you expect?
Two of them up.
Yeah.
One is flying around wild now.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see the growth of them. I love the Tyrion storyline. I want to see what happens with him because I love Peter Dinklage. He's awesome. I heard that Bran they're not going to have this season. I heard they're holding him off for a whole season, the whole Bran storyline. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but I can't wait. Game of Thrones is coming back. Great show. So that's really it. We just wanted to do a little recap of The Walking Dead, mention of Game of Thrones, and I wanted to just say something about Better Call Saul because I think that's a really good show that if you haven't checked out, you should. Steven, thanks for coming on. You got to start watching Game of Thrones, man. I know you're all like, oh, I don't like that stuff. It's awesome. AJ, tell him. It's an awesome show. Even my wife didn't watch the first episode. She's like, I can't watch this. Then, like The Walking Dead, like Breaking Bad, I watch them. She gets hooked, and then I got to wait for her. I don't like waiting. I want to just watch these things. But great show. You got to check it out. Game of Thrones, really good. Better Call Saul. Check it out. Another good show. And on that, I'm going to say again, thanks, Steven, for coming in for another episode. He's going to be here for more. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Everyday Geek TV. Leave your comments below also. Come on, guys. We want some comments. I know this has got to strike up some feelings. Give us your opinions, your thoughts, if you agree, disagree. If you just think we don't know what the hell we're talking about, that's fine. Leave a comment. We want to hear from you. So on that, I'm going to say adios.